We are, this meeting is being live streamed. There you go. It's about to tell me we're live and then.
Oh no, we're already live.
We are live and welcome to Talk About Paint Club. I'm Rick Strohmeyer and I love the smell of sandalwood. And we are joined with our co-host.
Matt Hatchers, and I like the smell of lavender. I guess. Yeah. I don't know, whatever this candle is that I buy consistently and I burn often.
Well, there you go. Well, Nicole, a lot has happened. Jesus. It's November 20th already. And here we are. This is the last show for the month, which is like, whoa, we're already there. And yeah, so we have a homework at the end of the month or at the end of the show that Nicole will be sharing with us. And November 20th already. So, Nicole, what are you drinking tonight?
Water.
Water.
We gotta thank Mr. Colin over here for that shit, because he has a like water training bottle thing, you know, like with the hours, and now he's making me feel water motivated. So we drink water.
That's cool.
I'm also too jet lagged for liquor, so
I don't blame you. I've got Sprecher soda, maple root beer.
I was just saying, it looks like it's a maple. Look at what?
Maple root beer. It tastes like root beer and a waffle made it. And the only reason I'm not drinking booze tonight is I think I'm going to the Makers after this. So to prime and varnish some stuff. Either I do it tonight or tomorrow. And so like I just haven't decided yet. So it's like, well, having beer means I close my options. And so
I say you do it tonight, so you have a whole day of other.
Well, that's we'll see. But yeah, so like everything that I varnished, I got pictures for what have you done lately, Dealio. So there we go.
Good, because if you asked me, I'd be like,
you ship something. That's what you've done. That's right.
You went to so much.
You went to Decon, which I did not get to. I'm after lurking on the internet all weekend, I was pretty jealous, and jealous turned into motivation, because it's like, what are you gonna do? You can be jealous that you're like, oh, they're there and I'm not, or you can be like, well, because motivated to do some cool stuff. And yeah, so I took that jealousy, try to make some stuff and be like, all right, well, what's the plan for the next year? So don't know what it is, but yeah. So all right, so I'm going to show off a couple things that I painted. Before we do, I want to show off something I got in the mail besides the big thing that
I was like, already?
No. That's later down on the notes, but I alluded to that on Instagram. But I wanted to show the turtleneck, and it is picking up the hell. Oh, neat. My camera decided to go upside down. There we go. All right. It's weird. Like, so I use a document camera. I thought I got a document camera that I like better than the web camera I was utilizing. So anyway, the turtleneck, designed by Trashberry, produced by Trashberry, from a Kickstarter campaign. And I got two of them. And I didn't feel like bringing the other one upstairs. The other one is the glow in the dark version. This is the neon green, and it screams Trashberry. Screams the way Brian does things. I really like it. It's got 1, 2, 3 points of articulation in the head, both arms. It is a little over 5 inches tall, or it's almost 6 inches. Here's a 6-inch tech next, 6-inch tech next to it. So it's got some beef to it. I'm pretty happy the way this was, and like I supported it on Kickstarter for like $120. and also got me two of these and a T-shirt and something else and some stickers and stuff. And I've known Brian for about 4 years. Happy to support him on his first vinyl toy, and I'm pretty happy with the way this guy came out. Like, I have plans for this one already. I don't have any plans for the glow in the dark one, but yeah, like, awesome job,
Yeah,
Brian.
he officially moved to California.
Yeah.
I saw his baby. Oh, that baby is the dopest baby ever. What the fuck? He looks just like genuinely chill and happy. And like Brian screams like great dad.
Yeah. So,
And I haven't met Electra like in person, but just from like the pictures and everything, she just looks like she fits into like being like a mama, like perfect. They look great. I'm so proud of them.
Electra's pretty chill. I've met her like once or twice at 5 Points, and like she was working the Martian Toys booth I was at with Noir and everybody. And like, I remember buying her donuts because it was like, oh my gosh, Electra's been like all over the place. And yeah, I wish them luck. So yeah. So like one of the things that I've been painting this week, which I do not have a picture of because I'm kind of hesitant about showing works in progress. But I started a Unicorno by Tokidoki, and I've never painted one of those.
That's why my head turned a little bit like, really?
Yeah, old school thing. But like
a lot of people's original like introduction to designer. If it wasn't Kid Robot, it was Tokidoki.
Yeah, super cool. Like what a flashback. And so yeah, that should be hammered out hopefully by the next time we talk to each other. So I finished up one of the Tyrann 23s by Tyrann Journey Toys, our buddy Mario. And I painted this for a show for Storming Vault. However, it didn't make it thanks to whatever reason. It's unfound by virtue of the delivery system. So
that sounds like my Complex Con piece. It was
so I'm
the wall.
Yeah, so I'm a little annoyed, but
it's still somewhere.
And then I finally completed the this Song of the Siren. Like I think I've shown it off before, and it was very much a work in progress.
God, I love
and
that.
Like I finished this one. I was gonna say this guy, and I guess it didn't download. I don't have the blacklight picture of it. I got this vinyl toy for something else, and it had a cool pull on it, just different colors in the vinyl. So I was like, it's really cool. I'm gonna incorporate it on this toy. And so I got that grain going on there with lots of fun metallics. And this is a batch that a guy reached out to me for. And these are all the
individual. What are those little frog brains called? I see them everywhere.
Zektrans or Plorbs by, God damn it, Zektrans by Plorbs by the last Zektran. That's what it is.
Because Colin has like a bunch of those, and I was like, I know I've seen them. I never like held one.
Yeah, so all these are like 2-3 inches tall. I was pretty like, I normally don't paint that small, but I was like, yeah, these are cool. But like I had like 2 or 3 of these that I got from a Decon or 5 Points, and he sent me one, and I was like, let me paint all 4 of what I've got, and then I'll let you pick which one you want. So I was like, that's the way I went with that. And I'm like, they're tiny. They're like the size of a $50. They're pretty tiny. So yeah, I had a good time painting these little dudes. This was my favorite, but I like everything that I've done. I painted for the dude. And yeah. Oh, and then I have this thing that check, but I got a Money's Talking from Martian Toys, and I started painting like this zombie, neon zombie version of it. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, I haven't done much The other week I did a live stream. I think I shared it on this show on this channel, and I was pretty excited because this was the Monday before decon. I was pretty excited because I hadn't done anything the week before or the weekend before, um, for whatever reason, and I painted more that Monday doing a live stream than I did the entire weekend, which was pretty fun to do. I'm all excited. I probably blew through that segment way too fast. So it is what it is.
I feel like next year I want to do like one color a month, kind of like the advent calendar,
Okay.
where I like that's not like the color like I only paint with, but like I primarily work with.
Okay. So like that'll be like Nicole. That's cool. I mean, you got 12 colors in the color wheel, and you could go and plan it
Yeah,
around.
but I was
Like,
thinking of like doing it like you know, out of a hat and like just, you know, fucking like mixing it up each month, because then like I don't know, I don't want to be like, I don't want it to be like you're gonna be able to guess.
okay.
Oh, green's next month. Or
Well,
maybe that is a better idea. In comments, which one is a better idea? Random? Or you already know?
they both have their they both have their positives. Like you could do a on your Instagram, you could do your month, the beginning of the month poll to show what you're going to do for the end of the month for next month, you know,
That's true.
and do your poll, or you can do, be like, I do like both. I mean, you could even have like yeah, I like both ideas. So
Yeah, maybe I like yours end of the month, so then it's known,
yeah.
but it's not like a full, well, let's just
And you
get
could
through
even,
fucking January because we don't care about pink.
right. Well, you could do like you could have like 20 colors in there, and then, you know, so then you're not like on the last month being like, well, I guess we all know it's fucking blue. So like you could, so
I'll add shades in that.
there you go.
I remember
Like,
at my friend's wedding, the colors were purple and gray, and everyone was like, "Yeah, it's because John's favorite color is gray." I'm like, "It's a shade,
yeah.
shade."
Well, yeah, you can do. I mean, like there's all kinds of fun things you can do with that. I thought this year, and I thought I was gonna. I tried this and I did not stick with it. I was gonna do. I think it was this year. Um, do declared the year of the surfer, and what I mean by that is I was going to whatever platform I did. The first one of whatever platform I was going to do. So like have to do two if I wanted to do one. My own carte blanche was to paint it like um, if it were the Silver Surfer, and not like just a chrome dude. It would be like, to me, like I love the Silver Surfer. I think it's a very interesting character. I think it's the lamest fucking um, character design ever. All right, just a silver dude on a surfboard. So I know I painted a Ravager. I painted a few things like this, but I did not commit to the idea. So it was like, so things were um, silver and space. So they were like they had some type of metallic and spacing in there. So like one of the cooler ideas I ever had, or the way I envisioned the Silver Surfer, if I were to do fan art, would be like kind of like a disembodied suit of armor, but with like um, all the joints and stuff being like space. So you would have like a stormtrooper. Stormtrooper would have silver armor, and all those black things would be space. All the black things in between would be space and a
Yeah.
space and galaxies. And that's the way I've always envisioned. I would envision the Silver Surfer, and just have that power of cosmic, and then with like whatever like energy blast it does, do make sure to over exaggerate that glow there.
I like that
And
idea. Do it next year.
and so like I know I painted this once. This was like my test sample of that. So there's the Queen Alien with the metallic here. and then the spacing there,
See?
and like the idea was I was going to make a sheet because I only like the head of this toy. I was going to put this as a wall mount. And I just never finished it. But this was like the test paint concept for that. And I dig it.
You still can finish it.
I still can finish it, and it might just go to 5 points with me. So yeah.
No, if
that was
anybody
my-
has a booth at 5 points and needs to split one,
So what?
if anyone needs to split a booth at 5 points or wants to split one,
We'll see. I have two. Yes.
you already
Oh,
got
yeah, that
decent plans.
So that was an idea, and I don't know why I just didn't stick with it. I kind of wish I made a tech like that, and there's no reason that says I can't go back and make a tech like that. The Ravager, I dig. So yeah, I'm gonna say go for it, and good for you on wanting to have like a year-long project. That's like apparently my I can't commit to that.
Well, if I thought about like, oh, I'll do
Dang.
one like large painting a month that takes me like a month where I can go back and keep going on it. And I was like, if I say that shit's gonna literally sit there for like 11 months. I'll
That's
come
good.
back. Like I'll come if it's something that I come back to when I have time, then that shit ain't gonna get done until January, until like December.
All right. Well, that feels like a challenge. That'd be cool.
I feel like I'm watching Double Dare where it's like physical challenge.
No, dude, like I'm excited. You should have like a hashtag on Instagram for as color of the month.
Yeah. I should just go into like my little like the booklet of the Pantone colors and just be like,
Yeah, I'd probably
chartreuse.
I would grab like my go-to colors and just I'd do what you said, just put them in the box and boom, boom, boom.
Probably what I'm gonna do.
But I'd do all the same brand because then I wouldn't want the shape of the bottle to be like, ooh, I want the orange one, and find the brand that's orange because
Ooh, maybe I could take like a piece, like my pieces, the little cut pieces of paper I have, and just put a little bit of a paint sample on it. So then they're all like square, and then I'm like, oh, it's just purple.
there you go. That sounds cool. I really like that idea.
And we could do it live here because then nobody like people could fucking like check me on my. Did she put it back and redo it?
Or we could just do yeah, that's cool. That is a great idea.
I want to
Good
throw a
luck to you
pillow
on
at my
that.
cat. That's how tired. That's how you know I'm so tired. I just want to like throw a pillow at my cat because I
Okay.
want her to come over here.
So, on your flight, because you flew from coast to coast, did you listen to anything fun, or did you just take a snooze cruise?
So apparently I slept through the first or through most of it on the way home. But I watched movies. I like watching plane movies. I'm a loser because you know what? They have movies that we ain't gonna see on TV anytime soon. So I'll take the free cool movie. But I'm actually super upset because I was like really looking forward to seeing M. Night Shyamalan's movie Old. I don't know why I was looking forward to this damn movie. Because like,
Okay.
let's all be real, guys. We all know if it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, it's probably gonna suck. And I mean,
used
it's
to
gonna
make
have a
such good movies.
twist, but it's gonna suck. And
Right.
like lately, it's gonna suck. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like the trailers where I'm like, the premise is this family's on a beach, and every minute that they're there, they turn XYZ years older. I want to know what this is about. Like talk to me, people. And at the end of it, I'm like, oh well, fuck this. Why did I watch this stupid ass movie?
Oh no!
Like I was expecting some crazy like like you said,
A
what
twist.
a twist. And like the spoiler alert is in effect.
No, don't spoil it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to. I might actually watch this. So like,
Okay, well, either way, the thing what I expected to get an answer from with even with the twist, because I
Mhm.
expected to get an answer about the island and about the people and all that. I did not get an answer about one huge thing that I thought was going to be the twist. And the twist was something that was so obscure. And I'm
Aw.
like, but you know what? I was like, what can I expect though? What can I expect from him? He gave me a twist. I didn't know where it was coming. Motherfucker did his thing. And
Okay.
he made me sit throughout the whole thing going, when is it gonna come? What are we gonna like, so he did get me there. And then I started watching um Space Jam, the new one,
Okay.
because I had like an hour left of the flight and I was like, I'm not taking my iPad out and drawing. And then I started taking my iPad out and started to draw because I couldn't focus on that movie. It was so stupid. And like it made me even more annoyed that like LeBron James's acting like skills are so shitty. And they're trying like in the beginning of it,
What?
they're trying
Really?
shut up. And then like and in the beginning of it they're trying to tell him like, yeah, we're gonna have you in all these cool movies, and I'm like, he ain't that good in this one, man. Like if the premise is supposed to be getting LeBron James to be in movies, and then like he ends up doing his basketball thing like with the tiny or with the Looney Tunes. Okay, but like he's not even acting very well in the movie that he's supposed to be pretending to be acting in. Like I don't know if I would count him in as like your star there, guys.
Spoiler.
And it was also weird seeing Don Cheadle as like a villain.
Oh yeah.
You're
Yeah.
just kind of like you kind of look at him and you just think like
Well,
you're solid, dude.
like sometimes because he's a government stooge for Marvel, like he just has that like crummy like, yeah, you're a government you're a mechanism of the government, and you suck,
That's
even though
just
you're War
shtick.
Machine. But yeah, like him always telling somebody like, sorry man, it's the way it is. I'm like, that's the most villainous thing. Like,
That saying it is what it is. Even when I was little, I would get so pissed. I'd be like, "What is it? What is it?
it is what it is. Well, what is it? Yeah.
Yeah, what's it?"
Well, like going back to the Shyamalan movies, like
Um,
Signs, like that had such, it was so good up until the last 5 minutes.
oh yeah.
Like I always feel like,
Spoiler alerts in effect.
right. Well, if you haven't seen Signs yet, it's because you're now, yeah. But like they pan to the TV, and they should have hit the fucking credits then instead, because like you got to see the reflection of the alien in the TV, and then you get to see like, and then by that time it's like they've already said like the aliens can be defeated. You don't have to show that they're water affected by water, just like they've been affected, and then end there. You don't have to have like Mel Gibson finding Christ, Joaquin Phoenix showing that he can be like a home run derby guy, and all this other stuff. It's like I feel like it was going to stop at the TV, and then because of 9/11, like people just pushed bags and bags and bags of money in front of Shyamalan to be like, we need an American feel good story at the end. So let's have Christ and baseball rammed down this. And he's like, I don't know. And they shoved more bags of money in front of me. He said, well, okay. Not that there's anything wrong with Christ or baseball, but it's like, come on, man, that was a great movie until then.
And then Mel Gibson took that and went, "Oh shit, Passion of the Christ, you say?"
Wow. Yeah.
My
Well,
grandma tricked me with that fucking movie. Oh my god. My Nona, man, oh man. So one of my best friends when I was a kid had a heart aneurysm and died, and
oh no.
he passed away like the day. Yeah, no, I found out that morning, and he was like, or my grandmother goes, "No, we have to go. We're supposed to go to the movies. Don't you remember? Like, I already bought the tickets." And I was like, I'm not going to the fucking movie. And she was trying so hard to like get me to be like distracted. And I didn't know what movie we were seeing. I was just like, oh, okay. Like she bought tickets for us to go to a movie and he was supposed to come with us. And I was like, man, this is awkward. So I went anyways to try to distract myself. And we get there and she goes to buy the fucking tickets. Because of course she didn't already have them. And she's like, 4 for Passion of the Christ, please. And I'm like, this is not the movie you should be taking to like older me now. I always constantly be like, yo, you want to hear some wild shit my Nona did? She took me to see Passion of the Christ the day one of my best friends died as a distraction tactic.
Wow. Wow.
It's not even nice that I laughed. And I didn't know Mel Gibson did it. And then like when I found out Mel Gibson did that, I was like, why didn't you take mom? Because my mom had such a huge crush on him. Like, you know, when he was the sexiest man alive or whatever, like that nonsense. And I was like, you should have taken mom to see that shit. And my grandmother's like, well, he wasn't in the movie.
Fair enough. That's fair.
So your 13-year-old granddaughter should be going to see this.
Wow.
It's one of those
top
like
that.
Like if you want, like everybody's always like, yeah, your grandmother was so involved in the church. I'm like, you want to know how involved in the church she was? I can help.
So I started, and I haven't gone far, but I started Stephen King's series of Joyland. There is hard case crime novels, and so like they're an anthology of like weird crime things or crime stories that happen with a little bit of the supernatural. I'm like, yeah, about an hour in, it's kind of fun. But I got Alicia that series for her birthday, so like I have the audiobook, she has the actual book, and then eventually we'll just listen to the audiobook together. And that's because she has a rule that she doesn't want to listen to one of my audiobooks until she's read it, because then so if she's distracted she doesn't miss anything, and I understand that. So we like whoever narrates is not as fast as she reads, so like she'll be done with this shit long before I am. But then like I watched this YouTuber called Cajun Craftastrophe. And this guy's funny. He never shows himself on camera except his hands when he does the stuff, but he uses a stop motion puppet for him as his host, kind of like the Craftsman does with the sock puppet, and it's enjoyable. But every once in a while he shows like most YouTubers, they will like plug other people, and I don't wait to the end. If somebody plugs somebody and I like what the sample that they're showing, I just pause it and I go follow the people on Instagram. Like I don't have time to remember. Like just go do it. And so he this leads into somebody else's painting, but yeah, I don't have any pictures for this person, but he's doing some stop motion animation based on the artwork of this other person that he did a TV spot with called Sybil Lamb, Sybil Lamb, and her work is pretty cool. So that's what we got, and those 2 segments in one. So we're just gonna go right down into Decon. Nicole, let's see, how many days did you spend at Decon? Eins, zwei, drei. Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I guess Thursday too for setup. So yeah.
Thursday was setup. Holy crap. Okay.
We made a mock gallery wall for Luke, which was fun.
You know.
Set that shit up.
Did you help Colin out at all?
Oh my god. He's not watching this, but man, I wish he was.
I accidentally sent him a link to this because he was the last person on my computer's messenger. And I was like, oops, sorry. That was meant for Nicole, and I have not seen him reply to it. So like, sorry, Colin.
Well, if he watches it, I'm gonna tell him to go into this, and I'll see what time it's at where I start talking shit. So so Luke
30
wasn't
minutes
there.
in.
30. There we go. Uh, Luke wasn't there like exactly at the same time I was, because like we were staying right outside the convention center, so we just rolled in, and Colin took all his stuff out, and I forgot where I walked over, but someone was like, Colin doesn't know what he's doing, so he needs you to. He's waiting for you to go over there and help him. So I go over and I start like fucking around with his stuff, and he's like, and he starts like fake like bossing me around, like going like, well, shouldn't that be on the left? Or don't forget this box. And I'm like, so it became like a thing all weekend where it got to like the point where Aaron, like our Aaron, Martian Aaron, goes, Nicole wanted to kill Colin this weekend. And like if they didn't know our dynamic, that's exactly what you would expect. I would hope that that's exactly what you would think, and that it worked. Aaron thought I wanted to murder him, but like he's just like a little to the left. Or when he was, what was it, when he was breaking down, somebody was like, he can't break down until you go over there. And I'm like, and he was already like halfway rolling his car over, but he thought I had left. So I yelled from like 3 aisles down, because my voice carries, especially when it's empty and people are already boxed up and gone. I'm like, Colin, come to 301. And we rolled out together, but like I helped him do his, like, I don't know, the lead up to his prototype and all that shit. So that was pretty cool. I like setting up booths, but it's my last year setting up someone else's booth.
Oh, yeah, no.
Hey, we gotta retire the at some point, when, I guess for me, when you were a dual sided coin of artist convention worker, like at some point, if you want to be like just all in on your art, you gotta wipe off that the flip side of the coin and make it just a 2-headed coin. And what better year than the 15th year of me not dying, because it starts on the day of my survival day.
There you go. Yeah, it seems like every other year it's on like the week before Thanksgiving, or it's the weekend of my birthday. And
it's November 18th.
Yeah, so it's the weekend after my birthday next year. But it also,
we were all saying that too. We're like, it's so close to Turkey Day. Stop it.
Yeah, it's gonna make travel expensive. It will, and if it's not going to, it'll make the rates go be higher because of the return home, and that's a little unfortunate.
That's one of those like buy your ticket in February,
right? And it's like, and at this point in time, I haven't decided if I'm going to fly or drive. Like, I've decided that like I'm fairly certain I will do decon next year. I'll do 5 points in June, and then 5 months later go to decon. But it's like fly or drive, because I probably won't make 5 points next year, because the school, our end of the year is not till June 15th. So decon doesn't happen that late. So it's like it's not decon. It's nobody's fault about that timing. It's just like it's really freaking late, and it's the latest it's ever been. I don't know why. It's not like we have snow days anymore, because distance learning is now a thing. So like every year the district factors in 6 days for snow days. And if you exceed that, then you have to make it up, but we've never had to make it up. There was one year we thought we were, because they were closing down because of extreme cold. I mean, like we're looking at negative 30 and lower. And then like on the 3rd day in the row that we were closed down, they told us, you have to show up. So I was like, oh, that sucks. So like, yeah, we were there, but it was kind of cool because we had 3 aides and a brand new teacher, and she was like, well, I have all this work for you to help improve the class for the classroom. And it was really cool, because like it was like middle of the year, all this fine tuning that we could have done, and we did it. And then when the kids came back, it was like, holy shit, it's a brand new classroom that's ramped up for success. was pretty cool. And I'm like, we should always have like a day off or 2 days off in January, February, to where we could be like, this is the progress that they've made. This is the adjustments, and we just need the manpower to be there to get all these things done. And
I feel like that was that was a pun that I missed terribly. It was so cool. How cool was it?
what's cold and cold? Ice cold. There we go for all the kids there. Yeah, so like I don't know, it was fucking cold. Like, so quick question: which one's colder, -40 Fahrenheit or -40 Celsius?
Celsius.
At that temperature, they're the same.
Oh, really? I don't know. You're
Yeah.
asking someone who's not going to school.
No, that's fine, but it's like my district. There's a neighboring district that's -35.
Wait,
there's another one
how?
negative. It's the way that the curve goes. But
Oh.
there's a district that -30 is its limit, and ours is like, no, it has to be -40. That's with wind chill. So it's like, if the wind chill says -40, we shut down. It's like, that's freaking cold. -40, yeah. It's
I remember
freaking
when I was like in middle school, we had a superintendent that was from California, and he never experienced like cold and snow like
Yeah.
here, and we ain't shit compared to you guys. And he had a panic attack and like gave us like 3 days of school because he thought it was too cold. And we're like,
Right.
I mean, you know, of course, as kids were like, woo! But like now when I think about it, I'm like, pussy.
All right. So we've gone a little off tangent. We're going to try and steer this ship back.
Decon.
All right. So you had, decon. All right. So you had 3 days there. You helped Colin tear down. You helped Luke Chu set up.
His booth and all that shit.
Let's see. Is there anybody new there that you've met on the internet but haven't met in person?
Yeah, and I have his print.
Okay.
He goes by Viral Boa.
Okay.
His real name's Victor. He's not a toy artist. He's a painter. I've been in love with his work for forever, and I had zero idea he was even going to be there. He had zero idea he was going to be there. And he was at the Treckle booth while they were like where they were selling their paintbrushes and shit. And I was just like,
smart thing to do.
Yeah, have a painter there painting. And
I was to sell art supplies at Designer Con.
Yeah, it's God. Let me tell you, that's all I thought was like, oh, let me get like, this is such a great idea, like, you know, especially with like decon discount, whatever. I'm like, let me get some brushes, let me get like a canvas, which I will show when it's time because it is absurdly huge and annoying.
Well, it's time now. This is your Nicole's decon review.
So I bought this.
Oh, cool.
It's a wood panel, and I think it's like 24 inches. I don't actually know, 20 inches. It's big. Nice. I think
how thick is it? About 1/2 inch, 3/4.
I think it's a 3/4. I don't know.
Thicker than your thumb?
No.
Okay. So probably 1/2 inch.
Yeah. And it has like the little hooky like thing.
Nice.
Ready to go. It was only $24 because it was 50.
24 bucks.
The Halloween stuff was 50% off.
Nice.
And I wanted the moon, and then I procrastinated too long to go back, and then I was like, oh, if the moon's not there, I'll get the planchette, the thing from the Ouija board. Yeah. And then I literally procrastinated so long that like neither of them were there, but this was there. That's so I'm gonna do a sugar skull with the homework assignment. But like, I mean, like, for the love of God, my face fits through its eye.
That's cool.
So like, yeah, I mean, shit like that, where I was like, big ass skull, okay. And so he was there, and I got this from him.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's on metallic, but
yeah.
That's like a lot of his aesthetic is like kind of doing like the abstract, and it's all in oil too. Abstract, like color blocking type shit. And I love him for it. And I gotta buy other stuff from him. And then I got this from Ancient Urban Kids.
Huh.
This is the thing that I need help with getting, like the creases.
Right. A couple little creases out of.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's that's the airport's fault, bitches. And of course we had the Tristan Eaton.
Oh yeah.
We had the Tristan Eaton at
So you never met him before?
Not a person, no.
Okay.
Not with all of, like, even when like Luke brings me around people, like, I mean, it's only like who he sees and stuff, and I never met him in person. And his girlfriend totally got me, because it was the last night of or it was the first night of decon, and I was waiting for my friend to get his Bear Brick signed, the 1000% joint, and he she was standing there. She's very much all belly. She said they're having a baby. She's very much all belly. She's teeny, and she's very much all belly. And I said, like, oh, congratulations, like, when are you due? And with the mask on, I wasn't 100% sure if it was her or not, but like, still a lovely lady that's pregnant. So and she goes, do with what? I'm not pregnant. And I was like,
oh
yeah, that feeling. And I'm like,
what?
And she's like, just kidding. And I was like, oh God, you should not do that to people, like, at all. And and then she kept going, yeah, buy stuff for our baby, people, buy stuff for the baby. And I'm like, this girl's a hoot. So fucking on Sunday, she comes, like, when I was having him sketch, and he gave me a sketchbook with his Audrey Hepburn painting as like the cover. And in my head, I'm like, I am no sketch artist. This shit will look terrible if I draw on it. Okay, I'll get other people to sketch in it, like how people do at shows. And I never have done that before, so it was kind of dope to do. And I also felt really like weird, as somebody who like knows what it's like to be like if here's the booth, be on this side, and know how annoying it is to be like busy all the time and distracted. I was like, I feel so awful being like, oh, look, they're not busy. Let me ask them to sketch. Like, because I know how like nice that not busy feeling must be for like 25 minutes. And here I'm about to roll in. It'll work for me. And so, like, he was sketching in my book, and she comes up to me and she's like, yeah, I told my dad how I made this poor stranger that I never met, all worried that I wasn't pregnant. And I'm like, so now there's a picture of the three of us, like, because Tristan's like, oh, you want a picture? I'm like, no, but Lauren has to be in it. Like, yeah, that's great that you're in it, but her too. And she's like this. And we're like,
that's cool.
I thought that was fun. I hadn't met Mr. Mento yet. He's newer, but I haven't met him yet. I hadn't met King Gonga yet, so that was cool. I hadn't met Gory in person, so that was nice to like see him at Martian's booth. I hadn't met Priscilla in person. I hadn't met Lost and Creative in person. Like, it was so weird. Colin and I were saying how, like, on Wednesday night, we tried to go get our badges because we knew the bigger booths were allowed to get started in the setup. But they said no, they didn't have the badges out. So it wasn't really like them getting set up. It was more like being built. And we were walking, like, the convention's right there. And I was like, dude, it doesn't feel like 2 years. It feels like yesterday. Right. Like, the smell of the fountains and just the look of it and what it looks like at night when you're leaving. It was just like, doesn't feel like it's been that long. But then when you see people who you hadn't seen in forever, or
New
ever.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, how weird, because like Lost and Creative, like fucking Jay, his name's Jay. Jay and I are so cool, and we've talked for so long, especially like after he was in the Pride show, and I'm like, I've never actually met, like I've seen his face, but I've never like you and I have been face to face, and like, and even seeing you at your show was just like a, like, you know, for me emotional, because it's like I haven't seen you in so long.
Yeah.
Same
Oh,
same
great.
with Colin. I fucking cried like a baby.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was nice to like a lot of the newer people who are starting to get popular. Like it was so cool to see like them in person. It was so cool to see like people just who you haven't been able, you know, to see in two
Or like
fucking
hot
years.
actor who lives in Hawaii.
Yeah, when I met Rev, I was like, Rev! Like it was so, and then again, because you know me, I was just like, cool, now where's your girlfriend? I want to go hug her. Like, like I'll do the same thing if Alicia's with you. But it was so cool to fucking see like Rev in person. Like it was like a lot of Hawaiians were there. Like so 7 sketches. I've seen Derek a gajillion times in this life. You know, every decon I get my stickers from this motherfucker. Like, you know, me, I always see Derek, and even seeing him face to face, I'm like, Derek. And I've told everybody that he named his character Nudes, the cup of nudes, after my cat. Yeah, and then he told me that sure, he'll go with that. And I was like, and then I told him a story about her while I was gone, where she, you know, like if a piece of tape gets stuck to a cat, they panic.
I did not know that.
Or like
Not a cat
anything.
video.
If you put anything on a cat, they're like, they flail around, like, what the fuck? You've
Okay.
never seen these cat videos?
No, dude, I'm not a cat person.
Okay, anyways,
I
well,
just
that
lost half
happens.
my client base right now. I did.
Well, that happens. Like if you put like even like you put like anything on a cat, like a ribbon, they fucking like will flail around because they're like, what is this? So she was running around my house like a crackhead, you know, like the crackhead she is. And while I'm gone, she had one of my thongs wrapped around her. And she's running around like, you know, like this. And I was like, this is why I call her Noodle, because she's like, yeah, like squirming around like a noodle. I met Elusive Arts. You know, he was also in the Blind Box series with those guys.
Okay.
So it was like, yo, I met like 3 Hawaiians at the same time. I was just like, hold up, Hawaiians coming through. And like,
cool.
It was just real. Oh my God. And I know this is me ranting, but okay. So Colin was he's very protective of me in the first place, and it doesn't help when my dad goes like this, oh, make sure you take care of my baby. So of course the dad in him goes, she's not going anywhere out of my sight. And I'm like, and in my head I'm like, I'm 31 fucking years old, guys, like come on. But he wouldn't let me walk to my room alone.
Okay.
He asked them to move my room upstairs, so we're on the same floor, fine.
Okay.
And like, he asked if we could be like next to each other, and there weren't any, so he just did it like same floor, fine. But he would wait at the end of the hall like this until I got into my
You know what? I would too.
But you know what was funny about it?
Not even if your dad said, but I would have. That's like
he only did it on the nights where Fett, Playful Gorilla, Mento, yeah, it was them, and yeah, those 3 when they weren't there, because you walk out my door 621, right in front of me 620 is Fett, Alex, and Mento. And I was just like, so at one point, because they had a suite, at one point we just left the doors open and like put the lock thingy like facing out so it would stay open, because I had a balcony and they had the suite, like the extra space. We'd eat in there and go smoke at like the ones who did partake, like, you know, me and like Fett, like we went out on my balcony. We're just like,
that's cool,
like a big party on the 6th floor. So it was so cool to be like just around like our people again. And even if we weren't in the same hotel, like the Hilton is right there.
Yeah.
like we were in the Clarion, the Hilton's right there. So like we went to go have drinks with Dom and Emma and all them. And
Yeah.
we told, Aaron and Ethan from Martian, and told like a bunch of other people. We all just sat in the fucking Hilton lobby because it took 2 minutes to walk across.
Right. Yeah, no, we stayed at the Eden Lock, which is like behind the convention center. And I think my hotel for all 5 nights cost me $700. And I split it with 4 people. So that's 3 years ago. But like they ended up putting us in a because I needed to upgrade the room because I needed more than 2 beds, or I wanted to get a rollaway or something. They ended up giving me the wheelchair accessible room. And so like it was like a suite on the ground floor. It was great. Like we could have tailgated in the parking lot. It's like it's fucking huge.
I went swimming one day because it said heated pool, and it was setup day. Yeah, because if Luke ever sees this, I love you so much. Obviously, I love you. I'm wearing the hat that just released today. Hit it up. But but you never come on the times that you say you will. So when he said I'm trying to leave here in 30 minutes, I was like, yeah, okay. So I walked back to the hotel, put my bathing suit on, went for a swim, took a shower, and got back to the convention center to help Colin finish setting up before Lee got. Yeah. But so it said heated pool, and I was like, what? So I looked at like what the levels of the pool were, because I always break the rules of don't dive if deep enough. Right. If it's
but you're also short enough.
Yeah. So if it's a 6-foot pool, I won't do it either way, because I know like I could still, if I'm going down too hard and I haven't like angled myself enough and I'm just going down, I could hurt myself. But it was an 8-foot pool, so I was like, bet. And like, crack knuckles, let's go. I dove in. The second I hit that water, instant regret. I was like, this is not fucking heated, you fucking liars. And it's 90 degrees outside, so it's hot out, but it's in a shaded area, and there's like this much sun for whatever the time of day it was. And so I was
it's
like,
the sun that's heating the fucking thing.
As long as I keep swimming to that one spot, I'll get warm. And I was like, yo, I told Colin, give me 10 minutes. I think it was like 8 minutes. I did like 5 laps, 6 laps or something. And he was like, that was quick. I'm like, yo, it's so cold down there. And then everyone at the Hilton's like, ours is indoors. And we have jacuzzis. And I'm like, that's nice. And you have a Starbucks. That's like $3 more than regular Starbucks.
Yeah, true. I mean, like you're a block away from Disneyland. Everything's going to be expensive.
I didn't even realize we were that close to Disney, like in proximity, because when yeah, we didn't really go. Like Colin and I like my foot, his back. Like at the last day, I turned to him and I go, who told a girl with a broken foot that this convention was a good idea? And he looks at me like, you did. I go, wasn't me.
Yeah, but it was half the size it was last time. Like they cut it in half.
Yeah, like I didn't tell her that was a good idea. Just, I think standing that, I don't know. It needs to get fixed, as you know. And like there were many nights where, yeah, my foot.
The foot you mean, not the convention.
Okay. No, the con was great. But so him and I went to like IHOP twice and we had breakfast like 3 different times for dinner, and it got to the point where I was like, I don't even want to eat eggs ever again. Like ever again. If you make me eat eggs, I will die. But it was also like we didn't want to drive anywhere. We wanted to walk, and it's Denny's or IHOP or In-N-Out or whatever. So there was like 2-3 nights where I ordered food for us, or like 2 nights that I ordered food. There was one night where his daughter, which was so cute, from she's in New York. She's upstate New York right now for college.
Mhm.
She ordered him dinner
Oh,
as
nice.
a like as a relax after
Good
the
luck
con.
thing.
She had planned this with me like 3 or 4 days ahead of time, and I had like
Okay.
it was so hard to keep it a secret because like I know him, and I was like, oh, he's gonna want to just like give in to like, no, we need to eat right now, or like no, like fuck it, I don't want to wait. So like it was so hard, and then I got fat in on it, and like so it was a whole thing. So when I
That's
brought the
cool.
food in, I was like, from Mylene, and he's like, that sneaky girl. So, and there like we went to lunch with Aaron in Disney at one point, like after the show was over, and we were like, okay, we're gonna walk back, and we're starting to walk, and I'm like, wait, the hotel's only that far? And they're like, yeah, how do you think you saw the fireworks from Disney every night? I'm like,
It's all right.
and like I'm the only person that gave a shit about it. Like we'd be sitting in Fet's room, and I'm like, look, it's the fireworks, and they're all like, I'm like, no, but look at them, and they're like, mm-hmm. And I'm like,
That's cool though.
they're just like,
That's cool.
we managed to entertain ourselves in like stupid ways. Like it definitely was like a weekend of, we all missed each other so much that it could have been like nothing was happening, and we were like just laughing, and we were watching cars like figure out the parking lot next door from my balcony. Like, we weren't even high yet. It was to the point where we were like it was just so ridiculous what was going on in the parking lot across that we were like, and each time I was like, is he gonna back up? No, I bet you he's gonna go right. This one's gonna go right, and he's gonna figure out that if you go right, it's just a big circle. And then like it was just each person were like, we should have been betting dollars on it. Like, oh, he's gonna go left. Oh no, he's gonna figure out you have to go down the tunnel. Like it was such a weird, yeah, but it was great. It was great. We missed you.
Well, thank you. Soon enough, I suppose.
Yeah, I
Got 7 months.
owe a lot of people some New York hospitality, and now that I think about that, like how I said that, I'm like, they're all gonna expect me to like push them and tell them to go fuck themselves or something.
Let's change the term instead of New York hospitality.
Yeah. It's because like I'm over here opening doors and stuff like that's Connecticut hospitality. Let me give you some real New York shit. Get the fuck out my way.
Oh, that's cool, dude. Oh, that's cool. Sorry. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and I hadn't seen like Sergio in forever or Rick Sands. Like, yeah, man. Now I feel like it's like I said, it feels like it was yesterday, but it was 2 fucking years ago. I saw a Dove from DKE, and I'm like, bro, I feel like I literally just gave you a hug like yesterday. What?
Right.
It's so weird.
Right.
And then you see people's kids.
Dom's kids. Yeah.
That freaks me out. Like, wow, 2 years really has aged you. Holy shit. And I am a midget.
Like, so like this past summer, I took my buddy's kid, who's now 19 years old, up north for a day. And we were at another buddy's house, and they haven't seen this kid since he was like 8. And I was like, yeah, you got it's like he jumped in a time machine. It was so fucking crazy. So totally relatable.
Dude, Dom's daughter, God, I love her. She was in a nap in the carrier when I saw her last, like 18 months type shit. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, Maddie, you say words. So dumb. But like she was talking to me and stuff, and she goes to me, I like you because you're my size. And I fucking ran right over to Dom, and I was like, your daughter's playing me over here, man. And like at one point she was like, I'm almost as tall as you. And then she goes, now I am as tall as you. And I'm like, I was like,
For
she's
those who
4,
don't
so I'm
know,
not gonna.
Dom's kid is 8.5 feet tall. And
Yeah. And like, of course, my dumb ass is like, I can't tell her I'm gonna fuck her up because she don't know my jokes like that. Like, my goddaughter on the, like, she knew at 4 if I said that it was like haha, but like this one's gonna look at me like the hell. And their new baby Ezra, every time I held him, he started to cry. And Colin was like, what happened to Child Whisperer? And I was like, no, every time I happen to hold him, he needs to eat or like get it was just complete irony because like I would hold him and he would be fine. And then he'd start to like suck on my shoulder. And I was like, oh, he needs to nurse. Or like if he was getting fussy, I used to do this to my goddaughter. Like it's
Mhm. Yeah.
like to like kind of like show like and if he was doing that, I'm like,
I have 7-year-olds who are teething that still do
yeah. And I'm like, here you go, Emma. Here you go.
that.
And Colin's just like, no, it's you. And I'm like, and Emma's like, no, he really like, he doesn't eat like often, but like he gets so distracted that it's short. Like he does instead of like long ones, he's just like, oh, pretty lights, and then like forgets that he's hungry and then goes, and he's adorable. God, that baby's adorable.
There you go.
And I told Maddie, I was like, Maddie, you're a better artist than your dad, I hear. And she goes,
Yeah.
and I was like, don't tell him I said that. Because I knew she would tell him. And she's like, I'm going to tell him. And I was like, don't you tell him. And I was like, I start to quote run after her, like the slow run where you're like, I can't get to you fast enough. No. Like, and she goes, Daddy, I'm a better artist than you. She said it. And I'm like, you wound me. You told on me. No. And she's like, ha 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 ha, I'm a better artist than you. What have I started?
You see, you open that box.
Hey, the kids are the future.
They are.
Jim Groman, he said his grandson draws kaijus, and he's like 6.
Go. Speaking of old man Groman, no, our good friend Jim.
That's
right?
why I rolled into it with that one.
No, that's great. So,
you said old man Jim. Why did I tell him that we have a podcast? Starts to Google our
James
podcast.
Groman, who George Gaspar once famously said on the Marchand Toy Hour, he's like, I love that Groman has been talking about his son and his kids and grandkids, and that to remind everybody listening that King Corpse and Rotten Rex and all those great sculptures were sculpted by a granddad. How cool is your granddad when Jim Groman's doing this? So, well, that is cool. So Nicole did me a solid at Decon and muled something for me.
And Rick did me a solid and gave me a bona fide ulcer and heart attack.
I did not mean to. So yeah, we're I got something. Blue tape is to protect our addresses. But Nicole sent me a box.
Oh, I was like, I didn't put that on there.
Nope. It's just common practice. People will like ink over the addresses and stuff, and I probably reuse the box. So I'm gonna adjust the camera a little. There we are. Like, what's in the box? We have a box. It is a huge ass box.
It is a huge ass box.
How huge ass is huge ass? Well, it's not as big
Colin.
as
we went like hunting in his garage for like 2 hours for a box that would fit both.
So the box is 16 by 12 and a half by something, 10. Which is oversized by UP Postal Service. So we're gonna open it up. This is actually funny because I've been thinking like there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa Simpson is doing the yearbook, and she's like, oh, behold the first yearbook. And she slices open the box and she had sliced through the first one. And she's like, the back. And then she quickly goes to the next one. So do a couple safety things.
Yeah,
Open this up.
I taped it like you're like, yeah.
No, I appreciate that. Like, I've never had tape fail me on, or I've never had a package fail in terms of tape. I'm very grateful for that. Looks great. Got it open. Close the knife.
Everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck did she do to box this thing?"
Hey,
when
okay,
y'all
so
see what it is.
So to quote Nicole from earlier, she said she packed it so it like she could take a nap in it, and that's the best. So we got one layer of foam. Foam! Just what I needed. No.
Really?
I always save that stuff. Okay, so we got bubble wrap, and Nicole did a solid by, okay, cool, I can't see that. We got a print in here, I assume, right? This is the print?
Yes.
All right, let's open up the print.
You probably could just use, like, peel the masking tape because it's masking tape.
Well, we could. I got a knife, so we're gonna, aha, okay.
Here's to hoping you didn't cut it open.
I did not cut it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Look at that. Cthulhu by James F. Groman. Or G. Groman, excuse me. And that is cool. James
Fun story. Well, and
well, this is because of the prepay for the
yeah.
Man Thing, correct?
Yeah.
That is cool. This is feels like a screen print.
Yeah, they're heavy. They're definitely heavy duty. And when I got that one, I was like, and they were like, "Oh, go have him sign it." I was like, "Oh, I'm going to be very, very, very careful," because I knew that you'd want that. And it was a lotto, and I have his winning ticket right here.
Gotta do the black light. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got. That is cool. James Groman signed screen print of the Man Thing from the Mondo release of that. The Cthulhu print. Well, that's all the time we got for Paint Club. Thanks for tuning in. No. I'm gonna put those aside real quick. And then
ironically, all of this was a day after Rick's birthday, guys.
There you go. Happy birthday to me.
What I did was I called Rick and I handed the phone to Mr. Groman, who very graciously, when I asked him if he would, because he said he remembered your work and he knew who it was, and all that. I was like, would you mind just saying like happy birthday or whatever? And he very graciously did it. And we all then made a joke that you probably had a heart coronary and had to like rip your chest while like saying hello to him on the phone.
No, dude, this is cool. Yeah, it was great. I was like halfway through doing something else in the basement, ready to paint. I was like a very pleasurable stop. So now we come to dun dun dun.
Look, I had to buddy corner it, okay?
You had what?
I call them buddy cornering, where you slip in things after it's in the corner to...
Okay. I'm just making sure there's nothing I'm going to throw away. Jesus, this thing's heavy. Like,
it is.
I guess the box distributed the weight well. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the box out, put a piece of foam underneath so you don't see the... And a couple gracious knee shots from me. There we go.
It's huge. It was a long debate, and I'm so glad I made this decision of sending it when I was out there, because this is such a great way to do like the unveiling of it. I was like terrified. Like, do I make this my carry-on? Do I ship it ahead of time? What do I do? And
this is great.
Shipping it ahead it was a good call.
This is great because within like, because you shipped this on Wednesday and it already showed up.
Yeah.
So just to beat the...
I shipped it on the way to the airport.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And so shipped on Wednesday, got here today. Actually, my shout out to my mailman, because apparently he had showed up. He came in the early morning with this. Nobody was here, and he didn't leave the orange slip. He just decided he'd come back on set, make a second trip to drop this off.
Nice.
And then, because he does the big boxes, then he does the letters and stuff as a second route, because because he drives a truck for the boxes. So he made a second trip because he knew I was going to be home, because he knows.
Oh.
And so, like, this guy is awesome. The dogs, they bark at him. All right. So this is the Cthulhu.
And of course, with the insurance, it was like there was no option of no signature, and I was like, well,
right.
But I did say, like, allow an e-signature.
Okay. Oh, Benji did great.
Good.
Okay. So
yay, Benji.
Yeah, Benji's awesome. So this is a black canvas bag, screen printed with the Cthulhu logo that James did. And we're going to pull out. It feels, oh my God. Dun, dun,
the wings
dun.
are separate.
The what?
The wings aren't attached.
Yeah. And the head is separate. All right.
Yeah, he did all of that for me.
He did all that for you? That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because he knew I was having a heart attack.
Look at that. All right. So we're not assembled, but that's fine. We can be assembled, not tonight, because this will require some heat. But here we have the James Groman Cthulhu, which I will be painting up soon. Actually, it's kind of cool that the head is off, because then I can get to all that cool. That's a bunch of badass detail on this, dude. Like, it's got a belly mouth. It's got horns. It's got, oh my gosh. Like,
it's so cool. It is so cool.
So this is how obsessive compulsive I am. I count the toes, because he has 6 toes. All right. So like 6 toes on each hand or each foot. Each hand. God dang it.
So it was fate. It was fate for Rick to own this, because
that's cool.
There was on the last day, shockingly, but I mean, it was also the last day, and there was, less people, I think. There were 2 people who entered both colorway lottos, and the guy who won the regular, or the other one, he like the painted one or whatever, he what?
Oh, I'm looking at the I'm sorry, I'm blown away by the detail. But
oh my God, you're scaring me.
No.
so this guy I guess had won another one the day before, one of either the same one or the green one, and James was like, if it's okay with you, I'd like to be fair to everybody, because the only other person in that one was the guy who was in this one with me. So then all 3 of us were able to, because of because of Jim saying, like, hey, you already won one, I would like it if somebody else did, like, to be to be fair to people. So I thought that was cool that he didn't he didn't like do it unfairly, but he asked if that was okay. Like, he didn't make it a rule, but then afterwards was like, whatever. And the guy who was in that one wanted that one more anyways, so it was like destiny. And I was like 15 minutes late going back. So Rick knows the story of how I obtained it, because I forgot my fucking my credit card in the hotel, which was like a thing apparently for me this whole entire week. And I ran to go get it. And I told Jim I was going to go do that. And he said, okay, that's fine. Cause like, I'm still waiting for the other people to get back. And then as I'm running back, Rick's like, did I win? And I'm like, I'm running. Like, and a lot of times people will redraw if you're not there. And he didn't do that. And
that's cool.
It was just so great. Like, everything was just super great. And it was, post Rick birthday. So it was all meant to be. And it was the happiest part of my week, honestly, because I was able to do something like and I know that you don't like it when I put spotlight on you, but as everybody said, no one more deserving won it.
Oh, thanks.
And that was between all of the people who I told the story to, which was almost everybody.
There you go. That is cool. So it's a little smaller than Diceratops. I'm not criticizing. I'm just like healthy observation. So like if I don't sell that Diceratops in time, but before this is done, I'll have some cool photos with Cthulhu and Diceratops hanging out. That is rad. Like, god dang, man. It's almost tempting to try and paint this separate and then wedge it all together afterwards, because that'll be, I mean, it's a part, right? And what I might do is before I clean it, see how easy it is to put it together and take it apart. And that's
It must be relatively easy if he was able to do it at the booth.
Right. And like, well, like when it's straight vinyl, that's fine. But once you paint it, you don't want to scratch it. Number 2 rule. So number 2 rule, don't scratch it. So I'll probably this weekend or this upcoming week when I have it off, I'll see how easy that is. Like once I paint it, I wouldn't dare disassemble it to ship it. So, but that head, gosh, I hope it, I'm assuming it's going to be easy. Looking at it now, I assume that's going to be easy to just pop in, because like there's so much detail, especially with look at those sucker cups. God, he's so good.
We were all like sitting there in awe, like, because it was the one that was like sitting there. It was like, look at which one you can win. Yeah, and we were just like, whoa. And he even said that he likes that one like that a lot because you could see the detail ironically better.
Yeah. Oh, that is super cool. Like, dang.
He's so awesome. He's so cool.
Yeah,
he's
James
so
Groman.
cool.
On the Marsham Toy Hour, he also said, like, when you're at cons and stuff, don't be afraid to show your art off. Like, you know, like, don't be afraid to like have like your tablet or your whatever portfolio you have. Don't be afraid to show it off. And like, I heard him say that, and then it was like that like within months, you know, I was at my first or my decon where I bought my first Groman toy, and I was like, holy shit! Like, I bought the toy, I went and got him to doodle on the header card, and then it's just hello. So I got him to doodle on the header card, and then I was just happy to show him some of my stuff, and then like that following 5 points, I was like, look what I painted with your thing. And just like I have not stopped talking to Groman when when I go to shows to talk to him, because it's like, you open the door, and he's absolutely right. You know, like, you shouldn't just be like, well, I don't want to show it, because you have no idea who's going to take interest in your stuff. You have no idea who's going to take interest in your stuff, or might give you like whatever bump. And yeah, like, you should take pride in your stuff and be able to show it off. And
we were talking about the 5 Points tattoo parlor, and he was like, oh yeah, I remember doing like I was like, hi, I'm the one that you talked to the whole time. And he was like, oh my god.
Wow, that is cool.
It was actually kind of fun this weekend, like that weekend, because I was either Nicole, Para, the Facebook peoples who know me as like a collector, even though I rarely ever show off anything I collect, but okay. Or I was Mad Hattress, which was cool, which was cooler, because then you know my art. Or as Jim knew me as the 5 Points tattoo parlor girl. Like, I have many a crown.
He even has a butt.
I didn't have to throw anything at her. She came to visit.
There you go.
Look, her fur's growing back.
Hey, that's great. Dang, dude, that thing is cool. Like, oh, cool. Rick found a shiny object on the show.
Rick found a butt on the toy. Look, it's a butt.
Yeah. You can tell he's buddies with Chris Reiniak because he put a butt on Cthulhu. All right.
Oh, that's what I thought. That's what I just realized. They weren't there this year.
The Thimblestump Hollow folks weren't there. That's crazy. They have a hell of a con. They go to a lot of cons. They used to. We should see them at 5 Points. They're only 8 hours away.
Well, every time I see them and we talk about our cats, it's usually this one I'm talking about. Who is not very happy that her mother's holding her.
Wow.
She's like, I'm 18. I'm grown. Here,
That's
go
what
get a
Puka
job.
says. I'm still like, oh, shut up. You're being held. I'm big.
Go get a job.
Go get a job. Like
Go
Munin
enlist
wants
in
to
the
go
army.
outside. When Munin wants to go outside, I'm like, you grow thumbs and adjust your hips. You can go outside whenever you want. Got to get those thumbs first. And we'll close before we close. Like, have you seen the Turning Red or Going Red trailer by Pixar? Oh my gosh.
I've seen a meme where it's her getting like upset and turning into the big poof, big poof thingy, and then it's like back and forth, and then like, because I think it's a boomerang of it or whatever. It's supposed to be just like, her she's like, and then turns into the.
Yeah, you got to see this trailer.
I have to.
Yeah.
Am I gonna cry?
No, it's adorable. Like I like red pandas. I think they're an adorable creature. And yeah, like this is like, if Munin were anthropomorphic, this is what Munin would look like. Like, it's just like, oh, cool, they captured my chow. If she were black, but it's like it's wonderful. I think it'll be a smash hit for Pixar.
My old boss, Liz, and my other old boss, Jeff, they're both one's lesbian, one's gay. They said that their mutual shared love shot. Yeah, they're both gay. But I'm being specific here. They said their mutually shared love child was a red panda named Boop. It was just some picture that floated around the internet at the time of a red panda like going like, meh, like flipping over. So they named it Boop. And every time we saw a red panda, like if I went to a zoo or any of us like went anywhere and saw a red panda, we'd send a picture and be like, we see Boop.
There you go. All right. Before we go, this is the end of the month, or end of the broadcast month. So that means homework. And I didn't have anything, but Nicole saves the day. So Nicole, ring us in.
I only saved the day because of decon. Because of what I'm doing with this guy. So the challenge, or homework, whatever, is to use a medium you do not use often or ever.
So an uncommon medium.
An uncommon medium. Like for this, I am using a new texture medium to add to my acrylic to do some floral work and stuff like that on here. Okay. So that's one of them. And I'm going to consider using oil paints too.
Ooh. That's cool. So it doesn't have to be paint related. It's just a different medium that you normally don't use.
Inspired by my dear friend Victor here, because he uses oil, and that's what he was doing on his. He was using oil on his board. Okay. And I have, I know I always say like I'm the queen of mixed media, but there's so many mediums to use, so
that's all right.
Gotta fucking use them all if I'm gonna say that shit.
Okay.
So like you can do your whole piece like, Rick, you like to use your airbrush. Mm-hmm. You could do all that you want, but then add some crackle paste. I'm just saying the thing. I'm saying the thing. I'm not saying use that shit. No, you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. I'm
like if Skadoots is watching, instead of polymer, use epoxy clay.
Oh, So a different medium. That's cool. All right. Challenge accepted. All right. So that being said, Nicole, where can people find you?
Okay, so I got banned on Facebook again, and this is fucking stupid because it was me and my friends joking about how a female wrestler could kick our ass. Like, we were like, yo, she could definitely kick our ass. And I was like, yeah, she'd whoop your ass. That's inciting violence. I just fucking give up. I give up on being on Facebook. So
Okay.
you will find me at Instagram at the.madhatchers. Since, you know, I undeactivated my ass. And there you go, within a week.
Well, there you go. And I'm Rick Stroh, RICSTROH, on the old Instagram. And we do this for the vibes. We'll see you in
and
December.
I'll have Rick be posting my link to my website that I'm hoping to have launched for Small Business Sunday.
We don't do so. Wrong group.
No, I don't want you to. It's not going to have things to buy. It's going to have just like gallery stuff up there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. Cart options won't be available yet. Sorry. I only have photos of things that are already done.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I know the rules. I know the rules to our group.
All right, cool, dude. I will see you in December. What's the 3rd? And,
no, you'll see me before that because we
I'm
can't help
sure
but to
I
talk
will.
to each other.
I'm sure I will. All right, dude. Have a great Thanksgiving.
You too. Eat turkey for me because I don't really like it.
All right. Bye.